guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy June, happy summer, and most of all, happy Pride Month. I wanted to make a video this week about my sexuality and how I identify. I consider myself gay. And I also use the word queer, so I'm probably going to use those interchangeably throughout this conversation. So yeah, I don't know, there's a lot that I want to say about it. Let's just jump right into it. Ooh, let me just back up and set a disclaimer here that I am not an expert in this, and I am only talking about my personal experience with gayness and queerness and sexuality, and not at all trying to talk about anyone else's experience but my own. So the first thing I want to talk about is why I identify with the words that I do. So like I said, I like to identify as gay or queer, and to me that means that I am not just attracted to one gender, I'm not just attracted to women, I'm not just attracted to men. For me it basically means like my sexuality isn't driven by like a specific gender type. And the reason why I like to use the words gay or queer and not bisexual is because to me the word bisexual sets up a gender binary that I don't agree with or believe in. I think that gender is a spectrum, and there are a lot of really beautiful, amazing non-binary folks out there who I have found myself attracted to, and I just don't think there's no need for me to say bisexual when it's not like I'm only attracted to two genders, I'm just attracted to whoever. Now, you might ask why that means that I don't identify as pansexual. I don't know why I don't identify as pansexual, because in my experience, I've found that pansexual is supposed to describe someone who is attracted to like whoever. I just prefer using the words queer and gay, and I think part of that is probably because I fear judgment. I mean, the word pansexual it's a word that people are less familiar with. I don't know. That's just how I identify. I just use the words gay and queer. I guess technically I could be considered someone who's pansexual, but that's just not how I choose to identify. I have been in 3 serious relationships. 2 of them were with men and 1 of them was with a woman. I think that when I got to college, I knew that I really, really wanted to try being with a woman. Like, I knew that I was attracted to women. I was pretty like strapped in for the gay ride. So as a kid, I don't think the idea of being queer or being gay really even entered my mind at all until I was about 13 or 14. And at that time I had sort of my first experience where I was attracted to a woman. I think at the time I really, really didn't understand that that's what was happening. And this was the first in a long string of sort of adolescent relationships where I was obsessed with a woman and I didn't understand why, and it felt like this kind of really intense admiration, but in reality I think it was like physical and sexual attraction, but at the time obviously I couldn't really recognize that. So, you know, it started with like, there was a senior at camp when I was younger at camp who I just loved. She was like during staff meetings, she would watch our bunk for us, and I would leave her little notes and just be so excited to see her, and every time she would come to our bunk, I would get really excited and make sure that I looked really good and that I was behaving really well. And, you know, when you have a crush on someone and you kind of are like always looking for them, that's how it felt to me at the time, and I didn't tell anyone about it. I felt super, super weird about it. That summer passed, another summer came, and there was a counselor that I was really, really interested in. That kind of thing just continued throughout my adolescence and my teen life. I encountered a few women who I just felt really, really intensely attracted to, but at the time I didn't really understand what was going on. Mean. I'm filming a video, so don't come in. So then I got to college. At the time, I was in a serious relationship with my first boyfriend, who, you know, funny story, I really thought I was gonna marry this kid. I thought he was like the love of my life, and still do think he's a great person, but I got to college and literally within 1 week was like, oh, I can't do this. This is way too hard. And we broke up. I broke up with that person and I started sort of experimenting. I hooked up with a couple of boys. I didn't hook up with any women, but I did meet a woman who is now one of my best friends, who I was like really, really intensely attracted to. I started to really be interested in this woman. We started to build a friendship and it was just really, really intense. I started dating someone else. I just started dating a man, my second serious relationship, and my obsession with this person, you know, gradually turned to a more platonic admiration and then into like a legitimately healthy friendship where it is now. But it was a really intense time in my life where I was kind of like, even though I had come to college knowing that I was interested in women, I still had never been with a woman and I was really confused about it. I didn't really know what I wanted out of it. And the first time, it definitely was physical attraction. Like, I think in the past, like I'd said, with those adolescent relationships that felt like just really intense admiration, I maybe never really came to understand that it was sexual or physical attraction. With this person, it was clear immediately. Like, I was like, I want to kiss that person. So that was really different and kind of hard for me to grapple with. But like I said, I was quickly distracted by another relationship that I got into. If you haven't figured this out already, I'm a serial relationshipper. So I got into a new relationship with a man who I really loved. We were very happy for a long time and we were together for about 3 years, which was 90% of my college experience. And then when I was a senior, I decided for a bunch of reasons to end things with that person. Partially because I didn't really think we were going to be together forever, and I knew that I wanted to experiment with more people at my college and specifically experiment with a woman while I was still at college because, like I have mentioned in the past, my college was very, very liberal, very accepting, and was a really good place and an easy place to experiment with my sexuality. So, and also part of the reason that I broke up with that person was because I felt like I wanted to be single at college for a while. Yeah, I had a few months where it was really difficult, and then I met a woman. We met on Tinder. We dated for about 6 months, and it was the most amazing relationship I've ever been in. I don't want to say anything bad about the men that I was with prior to her because I was very happy in both of those relationships and I loved them both very much, but I had never been in a relationship that worked as well as this one did. We just understood each other, I think, and found that she was infinitely better at communicating than the two people I had previously been with, or like anyone that I had had any interactions with in between. I just never had experienced that kind of clear communication. And I'll say that I consider myself kind of a chronic over-communicator. I communicate a lot. I do it all the time. I over-communicate. So to meet someone that I felt like was keeping up with that and was able to provide me the level of communication that I needed was really special and really different from anything I had experienced in the past. The sex was also like really amazing, like way, way, way better than the sex I had had in the past. So that was my experience being with a woman for the first time. We have since ended our relationship. It has been a year almost, and I'm still not over it, so keeping it cool. My experience being with a woman was really awesome. I want to do more of it. I definitely think that having actually been in a relationship with a woman changed the way that I view my sexuality, in that, like, I always knew that I was attracted to women, but never having been with one before, I didn't feel like I could really take ownership of being gay or identifying as gay or bi or queer or whatever. So I think that since I've been in that relationship, I feel a lot more like I can really claim who I am, and that's pretty awesome. I also think that having actually successfully had a relationship with someone of a gender that I had not been in a relationship with before changed things for me. Like, I don't really know how to describe this other than the way I'm about to say it, but I just feel infinitely more open to being attracted to people. Like, I walk down the street and I'm just like, I'm attracted to them, and I'm attracted to them, and I'm attracted to them. I could have sex with that person, or that person, or that person. Not that I have. I guess my point is just, I think having finally satisfied the urge to be with a woman and to know that I am attracted to all different kinds of people and not just to men, it changed things for me. It opened my eyes and it made me feel more comfortable with who I am, and it made me feel a lot more free to feel attracted to anyone that I want to feel attracted to, and also to sort of take joy in being attracted to other people. Like, it is fun to walk by someone you think is hot and just like enjoy looking at them for a second, smiling at them and sharing a glance, or not sharing a glance, or whatever, but just knowing, you know, that person is really beautiful and it makes me feel good to look at them and to see them and to watch them interacting with the world. And even if you don't ever get to interact with that person, it's still like really beautiful that they could provide that for you. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's where I stand with my sexuality. That's what's been on my mind lately. So I hope you liked it. I hope this was interesting. Hey guys, I just wanted to pop in at the beginning. It was kind of emotional for me to film this video and I didn't quite get everything out that I wanted to say. I made this video for myself and also for anyone out there who might find this relatable and find it interesting. But yeah, I also think that there's you can't see my hands, but I also think that there's so much to talk about in terms of queer identity. And I definitely don't think that talking about my relationship history even begins to cover the vast amount of thoughts and feelings that I have about this. And I hope to make more queer-centered content on my channel in the future, and hopefully I'll get to talk more about my feelings about this. But yeah, if you have any questions or any concerns, please leave a comment. Sorry for all the rambly bits, and have an awesome week.